Hey guys, King of Triumph Matters here, and today I bring to you a video on my Azure Rathalos event results. So how many did I kill? Well, I had a few members of my community ask my results from the event, and honestly, it's not as great as I anticipated. I thought I would go much harder for this event, but unfortunately, I had a lot going on. And here's what it was. I thought I would go harder, however, Friday I had to coach wrestling practice and sleep early because Saturday I had to coach a tournament for over 12 hours. For those of you that know me, I am a mental health therapist for school, so I'm a school therapist by day, and then right after I go right into wrestling practice and coach an amazing group of kids. However, the problem with tournaments on Saturday is that you coach Friday after school, so I get out at around like 6 o'clock. Drive home, get there around like 6:30, and then you have to sleep early like at 9 o'clock because I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. to coach a tournament for over 12 hours. So I didn't get out of that tournament till like 7 p.m. So it was about like 14 plus hours, and that's usually how tournaments are if it's a big tournament. This was a boys and girls tournament for varsity, and it was an absolute nightmare. They weren't as fast as I thought they would be, and it just wasn't a great time. So here's the Azure Rathalos event game plan. Look for large forest biomes using map tools. So Sunday was the day I could play, so as soon as I woke up, I took a shower, worked out, went to the gym, and then it was time to hunt Azure Rathalos. The plan was to stay as close to home as possible and use a 3-hour reset to my advantage. There was no hourly resets this time around, at least for the entire map for Azure Rathalos, so I took advantage of the 3-hour reset. I already knew how many materials I needed to forge and upgrade everything I wanted. I particularly wanted the Azure Rathalos helm, of course, because I'm a bow main, and bow mains love focus too. So get the bow main in there along with the Azure Rathalos greaves for reload speed 2 and fire attack level 1, and I wanted to get enough materials for the Azure Might Bow as well. I wanted to create content on it and hopefully test out to see if it's actually worth something, even though it doesn't have the rapid level 4 at charge level 3. Like we were hoping it was going to be when the leaks first came out for Azure Rathalos. And here's my loadout for the Azure Rathalos event. My build was the part Black Diablos Bow, part Breaker 3 build. So part Breaker 3, Black Diablos Bow build. Using the Sarah Coil Bender at grade 8, level 5 out of 5. The Diablos Snarrow Helm, which is the Black Diablos Helm, grade 6, level 5 out of 5. The Wrath Heartmail from Pink Rothian, grade 7, level 5 out of 5. Diablos Narrow Braces, grade 6, level 5 out of 5 from Black Diablos. The Rathalos Coil, grade 6, level 5 out of 5 from, of course, Rathalos. And the Gyratotus Greaves, grade 7, level 5 out of 5, which of course is from Gyratotus. Excuse the really crappy battle, by the way. The reason I took damage in that instance was 1, I wanted to see how much damage it would take, and 2, I wanted to break the head. So the idea with the Azure Rathalos loadout I had was to break as many parts as I could and try to get at least 3 part break drops every hunt. So I wanted 3 drops every hunt, breaking both of the wings and the head. Honestly, the tail might have been better, but because Azure Rathalos likes flying around so much, it's kind of hard to hit the tail, and I just wasn't patient enough or willing to work that hard to get it. In fact, halfway through, I switched to a Focus 5 Burst 3 build to do some early testing. I wanted the Azure Wrath Helm, the Azure Rathalos Helm, which was the Azure Soul Helm, so I was just gunning for them rather than trying so hard to get 3 part breaks after that halfway point. Once I got enough materials for Azure Soul Helm, grade 6. So once I could get the helm, get it to grade 6, everything else just went out the door. I was just trying to go for kills at this point because it was getting kind of frustrating, and in a bit I'll explain why. This leads to my frustrations with the Azure Rathalos event. So as I was hunting, I started to get burned out because the event for me was really frustrating because of the spawns. The spawns were so spread out, and it wasn't as great as the Black Diablos or Pink Rothian boosted windows. So typically you would see a line of spawns with the variant monsters. This time around, they were really spread out sometimes. It was very rare I saw clusters, so that I saw like 2 or 3 Azure Rathalos together. In a lot of instances, they were very spread out. As you see on my map, you see a whole lot of Rathalos right now. It was so overtaking, and because spawns didn't reset every hour, they reset every 3 hours, they had the normal window, I was forced to drive in a big circle and chain hunt in forest biomes. I would zigzag a lot to to hunt Azure Rathalos. So as you see over here, I'm like driving around. This is one of like the deserted kind of residential areas. Like no one really walks around here and anything like that. So I was hunting around. The area I was hunting in wasn't a problem at all. But if you look a little bit over here, once I stop and the map populates, the Azure Rathalos, like after I killed this line of Rathaloses right here, and there weren't very many close together, it would be a lot like this where I'd have long strings and then I would have to drive a lot before I'd pull over and find another Azure Rathalos. So they would be on my map. They would just be so spread out that it was really difficult to go through every single one of them in an effective manner. I would have to go after this one, then drive a bit, go after the other one, and then go after another one, and then it's so on and so forth. It would take like minutes in between. It wasn't like the boosted windows, like I mentioned before, where I could go to one, go to another within like 30 seconds or to a minute, and it wasn't as bad as this round.
Well, I promised a stress-free environment. No tension, no surprises.
Ow! Hey!
Nothing?
Are you nuts?
Jury's out. You really have got a lid on it, haven't you? What's your secret? Mellow jazz, bongo drums, huge bag of weed?
Honestly, I could also use a huge bag of stuff that could make me feel really good, and also some bongo drums, because I needed some bongo drums for this hunt. And for my results, in a little over 3 hours of hunting as a result of bongo drums, or wishing having bongo drums, I slayed a whooping 52 Azure Rathalos. I slayed 2 before the event to make content for Azure Rathalos, so there was 2 before the boosted events. And for me, this was kind of impressive considering how spread out my hunts were. As you saw, it was really, it wasn't as adventurous as I wish it could be. But after these 3 hours, I called it quits. I got everything I needed for what I wanted to build, and I had zero motivation to continue trying. Literally after these 3 hours, I looked at my number and I was like, you know what, this is enough. This thing's gonna come back. I'm done. And here's my Azure Rathalos results versus my Black Diablos and Pink Rathian results. Normally I would play 9 hours, 3 hours each of the boosted windows, and slay over 150 of that variant. Sometimes I would even play during the boosted weeks. Well, not sometimes, I actually did play. So during Black Diablos week, I slayed over 160 during its boosted weekend, and 18 to 20 during the week it wasn't boosted. So I spent quite a bit of time hunting Black Diablos. Obviously all of us did, or most of us did, because Black Diablos and the gear was the king of its kind, and of course the Sarah Coil Bender is just money. You need it, you want it, and now I have to get a grade 10, 5 out of 5, so I'm happy. But with Pink Rathian, I also slayed over 150 during its boosted weekend and over 40 during the week it wasn't boosted. So Pink Rathian is actually the one where I got the most kills during the non-boosted weekend, and I was getting really lucky. But I also spent the most time during Pink Rathian, and it was kind of the lesson where I learned that during the non-boosted weekend, it's really not worth hunting these things just because they are so dang rare. I spent over 5 to 10 hours a day when I was hunting Pink Rathian, driving around and trying to hunt as many as I could. So for Azure Rathalos, I only did a little over 3 hours of hunting during the boosted windows and slayed a total of 52. Along with the 2 during the non-boosted week, because I was trying to make content obviously for Azure Rathalos, so again I killed 2 for content, 1 to see the armor, the other one to see the attack patterns. So much less than I normally would with, again, Black Diablos and Pink Rathian. With that being said, I think Azure Rathalos is bound to return again this year, so I knew I could take the rest of my Sunday off. It's gonna come back, so I knew it was gonna come back, and I would have a lot more rest. I wouldn't have to coach a wrestling tournament. I would be better planned out as far as what I planned for that event, and I know it's coming back, so I was like, you know what, let me take the rest of my Sunday off and play some Power World. I'm loving the improvement to the hunting windows to make it the whole weekend, but I hope the spawns are improved for the next Azure Rathalos event. One of the things that really killed me here is that I hated zigzagging around and going literally to every corner of the biome just so I can encounter Azure Rathalos. I don't want to do that again. Hopefully that's improved next time around. And there's more content too, like traps, some other activity that adds more element and flavor to the large monster hunts, because it's getting stale, and a video on that later. But please do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. That doesn't mean I'm going to quit. I still play and do my dailies every day, and I'm really looking forward to when those improvements are being made for Monster Hunter now, so I can play more But with that being said, again, please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I would really appreciate it. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see you on the next video.